So the Epstein estate that's managed out of New York turned over 20,000 emails yesterday. One of those emails refers to Donald Trump as Dirty Donald and talks about Dirty Donald being inside of Epstein's kitchen with girls in bikinis, being around him inside of one of those emails. Now, he was saying there are pictures of that. He was saying that he has a picture of that. The problem is that inside of those 20,000 emails that were turned over, were pictures like that sent around? Were there attachments of other emails that had pictures like this? The biggest problem that having the Epstein estate turned over information and has forced Republicans even to turn on Donald Trump is because there's no way to protect Trump. What may be inside of the Epstein files is bad, yes, is probably super bad. But what the Epstein estate has is horrifying because it is something that is outside of the control of Donald Trump. And the bigger problem of the Epstein estate turning over information is it starts to wake up New York. Because having photographic evidence, video evidence, did Epstein make videos? Is that inside of the Epstein estate? Texts or emails or letters, things of that nature. Those things will remind people who were just working for Epstein or working around Epstein, working around Donald Trump. The bellhops, the kitchen staff, the cooks, all that stuff, the people who were entertaining the guests. Those people did not necessarily witness crime per se, but they will be able to tell you and corroborate more detail into, for example, Donald Trump in Epstein's kitchen with the girls in bikinis. Or others. Like, what were the girls saying? What were people, what was the words going on around that kitchen? Because Katie Johnson and other people explained that there was like some pretty dirty stuff. Right? So if that's the case, then Dirty Don is completely exposed, and that's why Boebert wouldn't flip. Is because when she was called in to the Situation Room and pressure was applied to her, she probably has had some eyes on some of the evidence that the Epstein estate possesses that has been turned over. She probably understands, just like I understand, that the evidence inside of like the Epstein estate, which is in New York, will help people remember what they were doing when they were just, bartenders or whatever, event planners, whatever, that were connected to what Epstein was doing for the power structure that Epstein was doing his stuff with. And that protection in New York is gone. And that's why Boebert didn't flip. That's why nobody flipped. Because the Epstein files themselves may be horribly bad because they're going to be much more detail on these things. It'll have infinitely more detail than the estate has. But the estate itself creates massive problems, and you don't have a Cuomo or people that were or people that, had donations or other things that the people, the powerful people in New York or Florida or other states that Epstein was entertaining. But now we know that Dirty Don is completely exposed in New York, and I think he knows that because you don't hear him talking smack about New York because he knows that memories can be woken up even at this late stage by people showing, here's the photo, here is the emailed photograph, here is the scanned photograph or whatever, here's the video, here is the here's the email, here is these different things talking about it. Were you there? What do you know? That's the power that is inside of New York. The power of New York is the ability to completely expose Dirty Donald. Talk to you soon. Like, share, and subscribe.